Well, good afternoon. How is everybody? Here we are again. 2 o'clock on Wednesday. Do you know, I lose count of the days, I really do. It is definitely Wednesday, isn't it? Yeah, I'm sure it is, because I think somebody would have told me if it wasn't. Hey, Susan. As you can see on my board today, I've got 2 tiles. So if you haven't got 2 tiles, just sort of nick one over, even if you, doesn't matter what colour, just mix and match it. I'm actually going to use this one as a bit of a frame, and this one is my main. But honestly, you can always do whatever you like as ever. So what else do I have with me today? Okay, I've got my regular pen, my O2, and I've got my pencil. I've got a tortillon somewhere. There we go. Yeah, tortillon. And I have got with me a couple of gel pens. So I'm going to go in with the greens, just purely because it sort of matches in with that there. So, you know, whatever you want to do. And then, of course, I've got a white pastel pencil as well. I'm going to use that, but that's quite important today. If you are going to use just a regular cream tile, then just be aware that, you know, if you've got one, still use it. You'll still sort of see that little bit, but not as much as if you're using a coloured. So, okay. Hi, everybody. Are we ready for this? I thought we'd change it up a little bit today. Well, don't we always change it up a little bit? I'm going to put this one out of the way just for a little bit. And I'm just going to focus on this one. Oh, Kathy, I am. It's indoors. And I've literally just opened the blinds. So it's quite cool and it's quite nice in here. And the sun doesn't directly come into this fake part of the building. So it's all good. All right, okay. Oh, your lotuses are arriving and your puzzles. It's so exciting. I can't wait to see what you're going to do with them. So thank you ever so much for, you know, everything that you've done in your support. And I say that Hermes is on his way today for the last of the parcels. I got the majority out either Monday and yesterday. So today it's just sort of the last of them, and a lot of the American orders have gone today, or they will be going. And if you've ordered anything from our website, then yeah, all that's just gone to the post office with John as well. So it's all good. Excellent. All right, are we ready for this then? Deep breath. Now, I'm going to show you a pattern, a really nice pattern, and you're going to look at it and you think, okay, this could be a little bit complicated. Please don't panic about it. It's not. There is a set way of doing it. So you follow the steps, you'll be fine. So it is a little bit it's organic, but it's got that structure to it to help you. So don't worry over it at all. If for some reason though you feel this today that to avoid any anxiety you want to go in with a pencil, then okay, go in with a pencil today, but it's entirely up to you. All right, are we ready then? So here we go. What am I going to do? I'm going to start on a sort of a corner. I'm not going to do my dots and border. I'm going to go quite random, and I'm going to start in a corner, and I'm going to create, here we go, a bit of a swirl. Not too seriously swirly, but there we go, a bit of a swirl. Okay, and you notice I've not gone all the way up to the end of the tile there. There we go. And then I'm going to put sort of a round there at the top. See, quite thin, quite narrow. And then I'm going to follow it down. See, I'm going to stop a little bit as I'm going. I think I've been doing that much packing. My fingers hurt there, so I'm not going to slide it down my board today. Now you notice here I'm getting a little bit wider. I've done that on purpose, so if you can, just get yourself a little bit wider. And then there, of course, just let's sort of slide that round so there's a bit of a curve there. Okay? All right. So far, so good. So it doesn't matter which side we start working on first. I think I'm going to work on this side here. Let's go a little bit smaller so you can see. I'm going to start just about halfway up. Now you might want to watch me do this before you actually go ahead and do your own. Because what I'm going to do, I'm going to put a curve in, quite a large curve, and I want it to be sort of quite thick there as well. So it's sort of a moon shape, see? All right. So then if I work from this side, so you can see it's quite chunky there. I'm going to do another. I'm going to bring one in here, but I'm not going to go out as far this time. And then I'm going to come back on in there. See, that one's quite wide as well. All right. Okay, so next. Now I'm not going to, see this space here, I'm not going to have to worry about trying to keep those spaces the same. You see this one's a bit smaller now. Oh, hi Maureen. No, I haven't done stencils like that. I think there are some out there in the world, but I haven't done them per se. I try where I can to stick within the Sanntangle sort of way, where rather than me giving you a shape seriously to draw around and tangle in, I actually give you something that you can create for yourselves. And you see there I've left a bit of space as I've worked my way up. Okay. And then I'm going to come down here and I'm going to bring one from here and I'm going to do a slightly narrower curve, like so. And then another one, but this time you see I'm going to actually make that a bit thicker. And then I'm going to go from there and I'm going to put in another one of those sort of moon shapes. You can see the pattern there. I've started in the middle, got quite big, and then I've gone quite small, and I've left a few gaps, and then come to the bottom and I've added this sort of scenario in. And then here I can come in and add another. And then of course, just as the final one then, I can fill in this space with another. There we go. So working from the centre up and then working from the bottom up into the centre gives me a shape that's going to sort of meander a little bit up there. Oh, hi Sue, hi June. Okay. So let's consider then this side too. I could repeat, I'm going to change it up a little bit. So I'm going to start about the middle again, but this time I'm going to come in and I'm going to add a bit of a curl in there. You see? And then keeping that curl quite thick, back in and down. Alright? And then let's go back in, follow that round. So I've just already around a bit of that shape there. And then there's that half moon again. Oh, you're welcome, June. I do try. There we go. I think what it is, I'm as impatient as everybody else if I've ordered something, and it's like Amazon can deliver it, although I'm not Amazon, you know, and you want it, don't you? You want to get going with it. Okay, so I've done all the way up to the top. So now from here, I'm going to do something a little bit similar there. Look, I'm going to add that shape in, but let's just flatten that. So rather than going at the point, I'm doing that. And let's add another one in. Okay. And then I'm going to go back to that half moon shape. One in there. Let's go one in there. You see that? As I'm getting towards the centre, they're getting a little bit bigger. And a bit wider. Okay. Let's just join that one up. And I see I've got a bit of a gap there. I can leave it, or you can go add a tiny one in there. You see, they're all sort of the same shape, apart from this odd curl here. But, you know, you could do all of that curl, or you could have left it out and just done the half moons. Okay. I did, Julie, I did order that. I do want to do a memory book with all the tangles and some tiles in. But, yeah, they've arrived. But I've not opened them yet. I will do. I will. Okay, so you can see there, I'm actually now doing an aura on the inside of that very first largest sort of half moon. There we go. And I'm going to do the same to this one. I'm not going to do it to all of them, but I just want to change it up a little bit. Oh, there we go. And I'm going to pick one on this side as well, just to sort of balance it a little. There we go. In there. And there. So let's have a look at that so far. I know, Rhiannon, this green though, it's just lovely, isn't it? It's so summery and spring, well, spring summery. Oh, Tina. Okay, so there's our sort of, there's, oh, Lynn, I hope they can get there for you. You'll have to swim and meet him halfway. All right, so there we go, there's one. So we've got quite a lot of space around, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to show you another pattern that matches that, but it's not got the whole sort of shape, but you get what I mean. Okay, I'm going to start in the corner, and I'm going to come up and out, and I'm going to create, remember this sort of curve here? I'm going to do something a bit similar to that. So there we go, there's my curve. Alright, it's almost like doing one of the other shapes, isn't it? But I've not gone, you see, I've not gone quite as far in because I want to create a bit of a thicker sort of shape there. Oh, Maureen, I did as well, the Christmas ones. I was very sneaky because I asked Pauline to sort of text me when they were due on because I didn't want to miss out. So she did text me and she said, they're on Tuesday morning. There you go. You see, I've done a little bit of a shape going round there. All right. So from there, I go a little bit larger now so you can see what I'm doing. Here we go. From the bottom here, I'm going to go the opposite way. I'm going to create a little teardroppy shape there. And same there. Let's do a little one there. And then on this side, I'm going to aura around that curve and create a little, it's almost like water droplets, aren't they? Or did they part? Did they sold out? And then across the top here, I'm going to do that shape. And then, I must admit, I watched a little bit of the show, but I was packing, so I wanted to make sure I got that right. All right, so we've got this sort of pattern going on. So we've got the curve in there. So if you look, it's very similar. So this would make a lovely little type of border type shape. So you see here, I've got a little bit of a gap here. So I could go in from here, but I think what I'm going to do is turn my tile and I'm going to do it this way. So there's that curve, but I'm going in the opposite direction. And then back on myself. But I'm going to repeat what I did before. So there we go, I did this one to create that. And then I did my little droplets. I could even put that tiny little one back in. And then along here to create that one, and then over the top, and there's that half moon shape again, and there's another one. Of course, if you did this and you got smaller and smaller, you would end up with a little bit of a zinger going off there. Alright, so let's turn it round again. And I'm going to bring one in sort of here. So again, we're turning it round so we're getting a slightly more random type sort of pattern. We're trying to think a little bit more random today. We're not really having to think about where stuff's going. But we're just continuing with the same format each time. Just following that pattern round, building it up as we're going. Okay. So let's go around here. I'm going to put one in here, this space. So let's fill that one. Round we go. And then back. And then back in with that shape. And then little droplets, and I did a little one there. And then back up and over it, around that one. And then around and around. Oh, I didn't sew. No, was it? Did I miss it? Perhaps we didn't have. Alright. I do like watching thunderstorms. Okay. So you can see I'm not really planning where I'm putting these, but once I've made my decision, I'm following that pattern each time. Oh, she is doing it that way round. Doing an opposite now, look. No, I said I'm following the pattern, I'm doing a mirror image. There we are. That's okay. Let's try and follow the pattern this time. So there we go, that one. And then that one. And then there, and there, and there. And then up, and round, and then. And I'm just going to put a little one there. Okay, let's have a look. Alright. So I've obviously left some space, because what we do want to be doing here is going in and adding some of those. They're almost little cousins, aren't they? Like, so they sort of match. Yeah. And you don't have to have them all coming from the same section, but they feel like they want to be added to the ends of those, don't they? And a little one with a bobble on the end there. It's almost like it's not come out yet, or it's a bit of a stem. Let's have a little one. Of course, let's have one coming from up here as well. And a little stem. See, I'm going to even have, let's have a look. So I'm giving you whiplash going around. I'm going to have one coming off here, I think. So I'm following that one up there. Let's have it there. Just going to go behind there, look. And one off there. So it's almost like a little. This look nice as grass, maybe, wouldn't it? As part of another little landscape. There we go. So I'm not going to put one here, I think it's just going to, let's have one here. There we go. Just nice to just add these extra little flourishes. Again, you don't have to plan them out, it's just where you think they're going to be and you know what you want to do with them. So let's have a look, see. Yeah, I think it's probably enough for me. It's probably not enough for Julie, but it's enough for me. Okay. So let's have a look at this then. Putting my pen down, let's go in with a bit of pencil. Okay. So what I'm going to do, let's go a bit larger so you can see what I'm doing here. I'm going to go all the way down the side of that original stem. I'm not going on the inside. I'm going on the outside. Okay. And now Bridget, it's a nice one to do. You can do it really large, and you could tangle inside each of the pieces as well, or you could do it thinner. It's very feather-like. I mean, I know we've done a feather before, but I just thought it was nice. It's nice to see different versions, isn't it? You see here where I drew this aura on the inside, I'm going to add some pencil inside there as well. Okay, so then that looks as though it's hollow, some round there. You see I'm on the underside of each one, and even though I'm going up and it's sort of the light's changing a little bit, that's fine, I'm still working on the underside of each one. Using the side of my pencil. And don't worry about being really neat. Oh, Hilly, that's good news. I'm ever so glad you got them. It's all the Royal Mail parcels. John very kindly takes it up and gives them to the post office lady who deals with them. So he's really good like that. He rolls his eyes, but he don't mind. Okay, so I'm just going to work with. Yeah, it does, doesn't it, Deborah? Just going to work with this one for a little bit. I'm going to go in with my tortillon. I'm going to just ever so gently swirl and pull it out a little bit. I'm just wanting to soften the edges, but I don't want to go on the inside of those shapes. So if you feel that you need to work it a little bit, then go in with the circles. It's got a bit large, as you can see. Yeah, and if you're working on a regular cartridge tile, then they are a different texture to these super smooth coloured monochrome ones. But it'll still travel, you just sort of have to work it a little bit more. There we go. See, so I'm trying to keep it out at the centres. You see there where you just sort of switch to swirls, and it just helps it move along a bit. It's a nice surface to work on. They're really nice quality. So it comes from a paper mill down in London. And it comes as really large sheets that I have to then cut up. So of course, the first thing we have to do is I have to put them into colour order as I wanted it. And I have to cut them all, then print the full on the back and then cut them to size again. So there's quite a lot of love and time and effort goes into them. I know it looks like just a bit of cut up card, but it's a bit of work to get them to this. But you appreciate that, I think, when you start to work on it. And I see all these lovely tiles you're doing, and I think, do you know what, all that hard work and lifting all that paper is worth it, because you do such beautiful things with them. So I'm just going to keep going with this. So just, if it doesn't really want to move so much and you need it to go a bit more, then just go around in swirls. Okay. Oh, Tracy, I hope it's all right then. You take care. I see I missed one there. I'm going to have to put a little bit more. Sometimes if you miss one, you find that your tortillon's got enough graphite on it to cover, but I want quite a heavy look to this. So, just gonna, that's why I added extra pencil in there. Okay. Alright, so let's have a look at that for now, see where we're at with that one. Oh, that's good, Karen. It's all those colours, isn't it? It's which one do you choose? They're all beautiful. This is probably the first green tile I've worked on. That tangerine is just divine when you use it with the pink. It's just lovely. But you start to find all the colour combinations, don't you? You don't expect. Okay, so we've gone round that one in the pencil. So I'm now going to bring in my white chalk pencil, or my pastel. So I'm going to go in the centre. Now I'm going to add this line directly in the middle. You see, I am being quite heavy with it. I'm putting some on. I'm not being shy. And then I'm going to systematically work my way down. See, at the moment, I'm just adding it on that top section. You see? Now here I can go around a bit more because I've got a bit more space to work with. You see, I'm pressing on a bit, so I want to make sure that I'm getting plenty on there. How are you finding your pencils and your pastels? Are you liking them? You using them? These are really creamy to use, love them. Oh, is it Sheila? Oh, Tina, they are the, there you go, look, the Brunziel. The ones that I took to Create and Craft the other week. I did try quite a few and I thought the quality of these was just lovely. They are, for artists, but we're all artists now, aren't we, when we create these? Absolutely. So, see, where I've got a larger shape, I'm being a little bit heavier with it. And just filling it in. See, I could go in now with my tortillon. Now, I did have a tortillon that said white on it. Yes, there we go. Hang on, look, white. Is it white though? No, it's not. So, what I'm going to do, I've got my little board here. Thank you very much to Sheila, who found me a really mini one. I'm going to have to tangle on the back though. So, I'm just going to clean it off a little bit. See? Mostly got. You see how I'm just sort of turning it as I go? It's just going to keep that point then. And then just, oh, that's great, Sue. It's nice to know. So I did try a few and I did work really hard to get some decent pencils and pastels. And I know we all like using our whites, but on occasion you might want to add a different colour in. And I think that's important too. So just having that set of 12 really made all the difference. You see, I've just got a few little bits of extras. Let's just get rid of them. There you go. Oh, look at that. I love it on the green. I'm just going to highlight that a little bit more. Again, you see, because I've softened it off a bit, you might want to go back in and add. Okay. Oh, well done, Jackie. Yeah, lovely. Okay, I'm going to go back in with my pen. And on the underside, you know where we put that pencil? I'm just going to draw back in that line that we did. Just that bottom line. You see how it's giving it a little bit more weight to it on that side. Just so here, you think, oh, which bit do I do? I'm just going to do that bit there and trail it off. So it's just heavier on the underside. See, even there, that's going to be a bit heavier there. On there. That's true, Bridget. Yeah, they don't need much at all. They're so creamy, it just sort of goes on without you even trying, if I'm honest. But it gives you it gives you the options of those different colourways, doesn't it? If that's what you want. Okay. See how it's heavier one side now, just on that underside. So I'm going to do the same on this side. I'm not going to go all the way up there. I'm just going to add a little bit. But on these that are definitely underneath, I'm just putting in that extra line. Now if it goes a little bit wonky, don't worry about it. Or if it's a bit thicker, it's fine. You definitely want it to have that extra weight. It's just going to help with that white highlight, plus giving it a slightly more three-dimensional effect. So let's keep going into that one. And that one there. And just following that through. Working my way up to those last couple. There we go. Let's have a look at that. Okay. Oh, it's lovely. Oh yeah, because if you brush it, you end up with it everywhere else, don't you? Look how light and vibrant that's come up. So okay, back in with pencil. Looking at the rest of the pattern here, I'm going to follow the same process, and I'm going to go around sort of the underside of the stencil on the brain. On the underside of those little shapes, you see, even that one there. Now, obviously, it's going to change wherever you are. So the underside is going to be different each time. But that one I'm keeping to the inside edge there, you see. So you're going to have to turn your tile if you need to as you're going round. Just adding in that extra bit there, see? And those bits. Again, if you want to go in and do each one separately and then add your white as you go in, that's absolutely fine. But I've showed you how to do that now, so you can do it that way. But I quite like putting in the pencil first and then putting the white in afterwards. So you can see it just works around a little bit. There you go. So you don't have to be massively neat about it. It's just about getting some pencil on. Okay. I think even that I'm going to even add some pencil just to one side of my zingers. Again, it doesn't matter which side. Just choose one. So they're all sort of moving in different directions anyway. So back in with the torch on, preferably the one that doesn't say white on it. And again, I'm just going to soften around those shapes. Just little bits here, they don't need to go far. And I'm trying, if I can, to keep it, the pencil outside of the shapes because they're going to be white. As I said before, even if you've used a cream coloured tile, it's nice to still put that white in. I know it's not going to be as in your face as this one, but there'll still be that essence there and you'll still see some of it. Or, you know, why not go in and try a different colour? You don't have to use the white, as we've said. You've got 12 pastels, you've got 11 more to choose from, should you wish to. If you've been looking for the pastels, I have got a few left. I'm going to put them on the website later. So I only have got a few left though. So if you missed out and you wanted a set, then you know, just let me know. Okay, you can see where just going in and exactly the same as before. Just smoothing out, working my way around. See, same with the little zingers. Just adding a touch of pencil in there. It's great, isn't it? Because you don't have to worry about where the sun's coming from or if the shadow's going to work. It's all just about going in and doing what you think. So rules and regulations, don't need to worry. Just do what you think. Okay, so here we go again, back in with that white pencil and pastel. If you haven't got a pastel, you could use a pencil, it's just not going to travel as much. You're going to have to blend it in a little bit, you know, by yourself. So your coloured pencils will work on these, obviously. But say you're going to have to blend them in. Pastels are all that little bit easier in this instance. Okay. Again, don't be shy about putting some down. So you don't have to press on with them, but you want to have plenty of white on this one. Or if you say you've used another colour, entirely up to you. I thought I'd stick with the white. I know that everybody that's been following the sessions and they've got the, you know, the essential kits and things, I know you've all got a white pencil, so, or pastel at least. Okay, so again, on the opposite side of those zingers, just add a touch of white. So it doesn't have to be much, just a little hint. And then back in with the pen. Shall I smooth it out first? Let's just do a quick blend. There we go. Just work it in a touch. It doesn't need much. You might think it doesn't need any at all. Whatever you want to do. Okay. that's the good thing about this, isn't there? I suppose we could go into, so I'm just wafting away the extra bits of pastel there, yeah. We could go into rules and if we wanted to, and we could look at, you know, the right way of doing light and shade and what colours to put with what, but we just want to do what we want to do, don't we? Okay, so just again, I'm just adding pen just to add a bit of weight to those sections. So yes, Sue, I've got tiles on there. They are in section, they are brights and there are monochrome. But, you know, if you want a mixture, then please message me and I'll make up a mixture for you. It's not a problem. That's the beauty of us making them and doing them all in-house, is I can do that kind of thing. It's not a problem, we can do that. There we go. Just a little bit of a line on the inside of each. It just adds that little bit of definition, doesn't it? It brings it out of itself. There we are. Just little bits. And down there. Don't matter if you don't go straight on the line that you drew. You can either thicken it up or just leave it to a second line. You could even drop shadow if you wanted to as well. So rather than have it directly on the line, you could have it slightly coming away. You see, missed a little bit there of graphite, but I've got plenty on my tortillon. There we go. Just a little bit in there. I am going to add some tortillons to my website as well. I think it's been meaning to for ages. I will do it. Oh, it is Tina, isn't it? That's true, yeah. Do you know, I never thought of it like that. We do have to follow a lot of rules, certainly at the minute, don't we? So having something where, you know, if it doesn't fit or it's not the same as mine, it doesn't matter. Oh, thank you, Janet. You're welcome. There we are, look at that. Okay. So just to add a little bit on, and it wouldn't be the same if I didn't, you know what's coming. That's going to go with my green. I think I'm going to use a dark green, and I'm just going to go in and add just a couple of bubbles. You see, all different sizes. You don't have to, this is purely optional. That's if you've got space after you've done all those things. Okay, I'm not going to do it all over the place. I'm just going to do a few, you know, sort of where that main feature is. The rest of it, remember, is really just a bit of an outline, and it's guiding your eyes into this particular piece. Yeah, you've got to have bubbles. See, I've been very, very conservative there with them, haven't I? So I'm going to put that to one side for a minute, and I'm going to bring in my black tile. Okay, I'm going to leave that, let's just leave that there for a little minute. Now, I did mention about doing a frame on this, and I thought I wanted to do something a bit different, as I said. So I have used a die to cut out some sort of shapes, but I'm going to show you how you can do it just by eye to start with. So if you think, okay, I want to do a circle, or I want to do a square, or whatever you want to do, but don't do it straight in the middle, I think. Do it somewhere else. So for example, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to have a little bit of a square shape. There we go. And that would be where my square's going to be. So can we see that? Just about, yeah. So what I would do is that would be where I'm going to cut my shape out. So whether you drew it and used a craft knife, or whether you drew it and then cut it out later, you could do that kind of thing. But I've gone to town a little bit, so you can see where that's going, and I've cut out two, a larger and a smaller. So I've still got my large and small piece. In a second, I'm going to put that over the top of there. So you see I've still got the small and a large piece. Okay. So I'm going to work on this one. So you imagine that this one here is the one there that I've drawn originally. And of course, because it's black, we can't really use a black pen on it. So I'm going to use my green. Let's just have a quick check on the back, just to sort of get it rolling. There we are. Okay. So looking at the pattern that we've done earlier, I've got some really good starting points here to create that lovely little curve in there, or even maybe space here to go in and add that lovely little feather shape that we did earlier. But you can see that I'm going to do exactly the same thing, but because it's on black, I'm using a different colour, and it's slightly smaller, it's still the same sort of method applies. So if we come back to that, we remember we started about the middle. So I'm going to start about the middle here. See, taking my time, because with a gel pen, it takes a while to get it going. There we are. Just join that. See, quite thick, quite a chunky one. Then I did the second chunky one. Okay, just as before, see? And then we got a bit smaller. And you see, I started then to sort of break it up a little bit so they weren't all joining. Okay? And then I worked from the bottom, remember? And I did sort of a kind of shape. And then the second one, I'm going to do that so it was a bit thicker. And then I went back in and added in another one of those lovely little half moons, and then another just to fill up, you see. And then on the other side, again, I started about the middle and I added in one of those curves and then brought it back, and then over the top there, back in with those little half moons. And again, we can change the angle slightly and it gets a little bit thinner as it gets further up. And then back here to the base. Now I can't quite get one in there. I'm going to try and keep it on the tile if I can. So I'm going to go in here and then a little one. And then again, back in with those shapes. So maybe for 3 in here. You see, each time it's getting a little bit bigger as I'm going towards the centre. There we go. So you're getting something very similar, but it's on a smaller scale. So I could again go in and I could add in that aura on the inside, but you don't have to. Or you can see you could add in sort of different patterns if you wanted to. I'll just do one there. And then of course again, I'm going to do one here. Now again, your tile's going to be totally different to mine. So it's all about where you've got that space, where you've got that square shape. So there we go, I'm going to do it from this way. So following the pattern again, about the centre, quite a chunky half moon. And then another one. So if you remember me saying at the beginning, I wanted to show you something here. It was an organic pattern, but it's very definitely got some structure to it because we're following the same strokes each time. Yes, they're going to look different, and that's exactly what we want, but we're following the same routine each time. And once you're confident with this, by all means, go ahead and create something a bit different, try something else. But for the start, I think it's perhaps best just follow that routine. There we are. See, it's looking totally different already, isn't it? Okay. So then I could add another one of those feathers here, but let's go in this time. Let's go in this way and add in one of those earlier patterns. So remember, I did this one and back in, and then I added that shape, and then those little droplets. So again, pattern and routine in there, and then here I did on the top and a second. Alright, so turning it round, let's go and add one in here as well. Same pattern each time in there. And once you've done it a couple of times, you see it'll start to flow, and your pen will sort of almost do it by itself. So let's add one of the fingers there while we're at it. And I added one of those. Oh, somebody means business out there. There we go. Obviously it's too hot and he doesn't want to be in his van much longer. Okay, let's go and add one in here as well. See, I'm not planning particularly, I'm just looking where the space is and then filling in accordingly. And you can see there again, it's starting, but the pen is flowing. It's just repeating those same patterns each time. There again. So I think down this bottom corner, I'm just going to go in and add a couple of little zingers, just to sort of keep it in place there. Let's have a look at that. I'll just put something underneath it. Here we go, so you can see. It's the back of my journal, look. So you can see where we're at with it. Okay. So backing with that white pencil. And I'm going to go in just as I did before and add in some pencil over the top there. Just filling in. It's just lovely, isn't it? I just love adding the white. Just want those highlights. Remember, we worked down the centre and up those sections. And just filling in. Same with these. Now you do want to leave some of the black showing if you can help it. Try not to cover the whole thing. It's just about getting the highlights, isn't it? Those lights and darks in as you need them. And the same here. Now this must be is this the fourth tile we've done where we've used two tiles? Fourth or fifth, isn't it? It's nice to mix it up. Right, back to that tortillon with the word white on it. I'm just going to ever so gently soften it, the edges. Just lovely, isn't it? I love this one. Okay. Just touching up the edges there. Not overdoing it. It just works quite nicely. It just moves around. And I guess seeing that I've left some of the black there, I don't want to totally cover it. Into there. Just a little bit down the side. You can see it better, can't you, when you work on black with the white pencil? I know we've used it just on the green, but you can see it like this. Right, let's have a look at that. Okay, so of course, let's get some bubbles out. But this time I'm gonna, I can go in with the dark green just to sort of match it. It's not going to be as vibrant as the limey green, but you're still going to see it. I think it's nice to have that bit of contrast. There we go. So I'm not going to overdo it, just as before. I'm just going to take my time and be gentle. And working my way round. Just on those few things. So I've not got a page full of bubbles. Just a few little bits and pieces. Okay. Now, I know this sounds a bit crazy, but I am going to bring in my black pen. And remember, as we did with the other tile, oh, I missed a little bit. Oh, wrong tortilla. There you go. Just a bit there. There you go. I'm going to just put a line underneath those sections. Now I know you think, oh, why is she doing that? It's black anyway. But it's just cleaning up those edges. And although it's not really adding a massive amount of weight, like it did with the coloured tile, it's just defining that edge. And then any little bits that we didn't want underneath, we're just going to eradicate them because that black line's going to be there. Just to there, just neatening that little bit up. Working my way around. Yeah. Okay. Same with this one. So just fill that bit. There we go, into there. This is a good thing about black pen on a black tile. If you have gone a little bit wayward with some of the lines, you can clean them up a little bit now. See if I can, yeah. There you go, a little bit of white was sneaking out of that one. You see where it just works its way around. There you go. So I'm not going to do the others, I'm just going to leave those. Let's have a look. Okay, I think what I do need to do though, on my little zingers here, just as we did before, just have a touch of white on one side. There we go. Okay. And then of course, I'm just going to quickly show you on one because I'm repeating what I've done before. Remember that I'd cut this little bit out here. So again, I'm going to go back in there. Now this time, oh, what to do? I'm going to go, yeah, I'm going to use the light green as before. Go a bit larger. Oh, well, listen, you can always catch up later. It's not like the end of the world. They're still going to be here. Let me see my pens. There we go. There it is. Back to life. So you can see that I'm going to follow that same pattern again. There's that curl. And then there's that one. Curve, curve, little one. And then follow it up here. And then in we go. That one. And that one. So I'm going to put that one on the end. Then backing with that pencil. And into there. Tortilla that says white on it. Just ease that round. Again, try not to cover all the black up. And then back in with the green, I'm going to add in some bubbles. You see everything's matching, everything fits. And of course I do the same with the other sides as well. So let's have a look at that. Let's go. So what have we got so far? Okay, so we've got our main tile, which is this one here. Then we've got our sort of frame. Janet, I used a square die. I think it was an Elizabeth Grey, I want to say. Die. But any die you've got, you don't have to be a squares. It can be anything at all. It's just showing you how you can break it up and do something a bit different with it. So if we were to look at a journal page now, let's have a look. So let's go in with oh, what colour? What colour do we want to go with? Maybe green on green? No. I'll tell you what we'll do. Let's have a look at the month. So let's go in on. Well, that was lovely, wasn't it? I did the other day. Let's go in with the black. So I'll do it this way so you can see. There's my page. So I've got my main. Oh, look at that on there. Image there. Now the beauty of this means you can actually go directly over the top, and you can pick a certain part of what you like, so you're getting this sort of black on green and thing. But let's just take it a step further and let's move it out a little bit, and let's just pick on a section of it. So you find the bit you really, really, really like, and you think, oh, okay, I really like, let's go with that bit. See, I've got the pleasure of two here, because I've got two elements, and that's where I put my two tiles. There we go. But then, of course, you've also got your little section as well. So you could add your little section in places. So again, you know, you could think, well, where am I going to put this? I'm quite liking it there. Or you could even add it, you know, further down, sort of offsetting or covering up. There's a lot that you could do with it. And then, of course, I haven't done, but I have got my other black space that went there. There we go. So you could sort of change it up a bit and add it in a different place as well. So it starts to take it not just from a tile, but into something that's completely different. Now I have actually I've not done a journal page yet, but again, if I now take, for example, the bright green page, just 1 second, there you go. And you can see here I've done a grey tile. It's very similar. I've still used the dots. I've got a bit of a green dot in there. And well, Vivian, I know we sort of still all have hang-ups about tiles, and even I at times, but it just shows what you can do differently, doesn't it? So again, you know, you could even have a bit showing. You don't have to have it on. You could tangle within this bit, but let's do it in a similar way. So let's add that to there. And then, of course, this one, I've just got one square. You see, I've taken that out. So what if we did it maybe that way? So we had there, and then there. So you can see very quickly that you can work it in different ways, and you can do different things with it. So yeah, we've used 2 tiles, but you're getting something almost 3 tiles. So you've got that version. I mean, let's try it on a different colour. Remember that tangerine I was saying about? Let's have a look at it on that one. See, that works just as well, you know, with the black. And there. So let's do that way. Or even matching it. Yeah, so there's lots of different ways of using it. So that's the one that we've done today, and what I will put that onto the page, and I will actually add some of these patterns sort of coming up here maybe and round, and I will finish that one off. So today I know it's been a little bit different, and that's what we want though, isn't it? We want something different each time. It's great to do the tiles, but it's also nice to change them up a little bit. So I am going to sign it, being that I was sort of going to put that one. Let's have a look. I don't know where I'm going to put it yet. So what I am going to do is I'm going to sign it somewhere where I will sort of see it. There we go. Leave it there. Oh, they will, Anne-Marie. That's why I've got them. I quite like that sort of angled effect. I don't know. I'm going to sit and play with it and see what I come up with. So hopefully, you know, you'll do the same too, and you'll have a play and see where they sort of appear and what you like and what you don't, and post them. Let us see how they go. So I hope that's given you a little bit of food for thought there. Oh, Lindsay, you have to definitely start your journal, and it's just lovely to not just to put them in and work on them, but you know, if you are having a bad day, because we all do, open your journal and look through it, and you just think, gosh, I did that, and immediately it makes you feel better. Honestly, it does. So even if nobody ever sees it, and every time you look, you think, oh, I wish I could have done that better. look for that little bit that you really like. And this is a great way of doing that, as you can just focus on that bit. Even if you only like this section and you don't want to do the whole frame, just cut that bit out and use it. There's lots of ways of sort of doing it. So by all means, yeah, use your tiles, but use your journal as well. Don't think you've got to finish a page in a day. I mean, I said it on the TV at the weekend. I put pages in and I don't finish them all on the same day. They're works in progress. So as you can see here, look, this one, I've not finished it. I've just put the tile in. And then this one I started on the show. I've started on it, but I've not finished it. I will come back to it. And again, I'll see this one is a little bit different. Look where we cut those. But again, it's not finished. And then of course, I think that one, I think I've probably finished that one. But, you know, they're all works in progress. And it's just go with what you feel on the day. Do a little bit of it and then leave it until you're ready. So that's my rant over. I was going to say, I hope you've enjoyed that. But yeah, I hope you've enjoyed it. And, you know, let me see what you're doing and just keep at it. It'd be lovely to see that. So all being well. And, you know, if you're not working or if you can sneak a break, I will see you again on Friday at 2 o'clock. If not, then happy for you to catch up. So all the best and stay safe. And I will see you Friday. All right, you take care, everybody. Bye.